watching Smart Men's Business here, Smart Info TV, where we drive your business. And of course, I'm with Charlotte. And of course, important matters have been shared in the morning. And of course, we're going to be bringing you more still on what is happening in our country, Uganda, regarding as we head for the festive season. We just left with only 1 week.
Yes.
And we see the kavuyo happening in Kampala. People are traveling. The prices are going to be high. Mostly for those that go up country.
Yes.
Well,
that. Even usually when people are going to the villages, they usually pay 45,000 or 50,000 depending on the bus. But right now the buses, they are paying 60 to 70,000.
Really?
It is really high because of the fuel.
Even before we head into...
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So some people usually travel on 24th, 23rd. So most probably it will be higher than that.
Well, I think...
When do you plan to go to the village?
Well, that time you just talked about.
24th,
yeah,
23rd.
That is the time. I'm planning to pull strings with my pocket and see, and you're bargaining. You know, you see that time when people...
Do you see a future of going to the village in this economy this time? You can just send them 50,000. You're like, you know what? Get yourself chicken. I'll take my soda when I'm home.
I mean, it depends on if you have family, because I don't think if you're still looking for a family, you have reason to stay behind. Really, you have to go and support your mother or father, one or the other. But anyway, this is the hour where we get to give you sports and entertainment. But firstly, let's see what is happening in the sports business. Well, of course, today starting off with the women's Six National champions. We see here TikTok has ended their sponsorship, and of course, after ending it, Guinness is coming in. You know, for those that consume those beverages, you know Guinness as a beer. It's a really good beer. So definitely, they are coming in to sponsor the women's football league right there. If I could ask you, Charlotte. Yes. Because how often do you sit down and watch female football, like women, any sports women do?
Usually when my son is watching his soccer, he puts, and you usually see the women playing. Really? And he usually says, women these days are playing better than men. They look better than men.
I love the spirit. I love the spirit. But over time, when it comes to basketball, there's complaints that women are paid lesser, and they wanted a little bit of, almost not that much, but then almost equal, because I believe they put in much effort compared.
Aren't we fighting for equal rights here?
We are fighting, but of course people find women's sports boring.
Why? But it's the same sport. It's just that this sport, this time, it has women.
No, I do not know why.
Because right now we are looking at rugby. Men play it and now women are playing it. So I'm playing it the same way.
Maybe the energy, they feel like maybe the energy is not that much.
Well,
like the men.
Are they still doing that gender imbalance thing? No.
Oh yeah, it is actually really too much in sports.
Wow.
You can imagine one basketball player is going to be earning 37 million, and just a team of basketball for women is going to be
the whole team,
12 million.
That is very little.
Then one person, NBA, 37 million a season.
That is not fair.
That is not fair.
I think this is because the men's sports is watched more than the women's sports.
Yeah, because originally it was there.
Yes, because even in these games where we have the relays, the putting, the races and everything, usually you find that women's races are few compared to the men.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so it seems it's because in sports the men have more than us women do. It could be the problem. Why?
Let's make it equal and see if we do not have the capacity.
We should.
They should. If it's 2 hours,
we should do a campaign.
It is if it's 20 kilometers, let us all do 20 kilometers. And see who beats who at the end of the day. Because what is this? Anyway, still moving on to this very report, the TikTok's title sponsorship of the Women's Six Nations has ended after 2 years, with Guinness stepping in to take the rights. And of course, the Diego-owned Irish drinks brand has also extended its sponsorship of the men's championship, a relation that began when it replaced the RBS in 2019. Of course, Guinness is reported to be paying around £15 million Paya in total, that is the newcomer, going to be sponsoring this women's league right here. And of course, the agreement was described as a long term, but of course the length has not been specified. Of course, we shall be giving you a report and the length of this very MOU, this agreement between Guinness and this Women's Six Nations. Well, of course, actually TikTok had an agreement to work with the Women's Six Nations for 23 months. Yeah, and of course they announced their 4-year deal, but so far it has ended. No, reasons not known. Imagine a period of 6 years, but now it's ending in 23 years. You know, people pull out because you're not doing enough. And I've just realized this in sports. Yeah. You know, most sponsorship deals have been ended because some teams are not doing enough. Yes. Really. So they're like, why invest in a team that is not?
Well, if you're investing in a team, you would expect the team to always represent your product in a very good way. Yeah. Because if I'm sponsoring your team, I expect your team to win. So that when you win, they say this team that is sponsored by Charlotte Lipstick is actually beating it. So because if I'm sponsoring them and they are losing, everyone will be like, this Charlotte Lipstick is sponsoring losers. How is that working? Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you win as a team, me as a sponsor, I am making money. But if you lose, that means I'm losing. Yeah. So
that, I think that is the trick why most sponsorship deals are being ending in this very year actually. And of course, instead of the championship, the competition will be known as the Guinness Women's Six Nations once again, with the brewer reclaiming the rights that initially took place in 2019. That is when TikTok had set place. So they're continuing with the rights of TikTok having pulled out. Well, of course, Guinness brand director Stephen O'Kelly is saying that they are fully committed to the game of rugby, and of course, it values its supports in creating an exclusive game for everybody. So, yeah, I actually implore people to do mostly women's sport, because now that people are more used to men, it could be a different shift. Yeah, you used to see Ronaldo, you used to see Onana, now you can see women, and women are ferocious. Yeah, when they are in sports. Just that for basketball it's a different thing. Men believe that women cannot dunk like they do, you know, that thing of jumping and then you put the ball and swing around the net. You know, that they feel like, nah, we do it best. No, I don't feel like they deserve to be given as equally as us. So it was always a challenge, actually, when it comes to the sport. But anyway, that is it. So Guinness is going to be sponsoring the Rugby Champions League right there for women, hoping that we shall see more and more visibility of the women. So I believe the only thing that is disturbing women is visibility. They do not put themselves out there. Yeah, so the endorsement deals are very few, the sponsorships are very few. Unlike the men, men do endorsement, the t-shirts, I mean, because people consume more of men's.
It's not fair, Mercy, because you find men have mansions, he's earning lots and lots of money. Just like this gentleman that was divorced by the wife, and this woman expected to get things, and at the end of the day, he had put everything in the mother's name. Oh yeah. So. And most times when you look at these sports people, you never see women out there being talked about so much, the sports women.
Even if it's in Uganda right here, I don't think if women were playing, trust me, the stadium is going to be with like 100 people or 50. But
we don't support sports here in our country.
Even the fellow ladies as well.
Yes.
You've told me yourself, I don't think you would sit down and watch.
Well, if I knew where the match is that is being played by the She Cranes or any other team that is here in Uganda and it has women, I would go. But these are sports that happen and they never announce, they never tell us. It's usually at the back. These are things that are supposed to be told to us as a country. We go and support our own teams.
But I like the effort that the netball team is doing.
Yes.
They're really presenting us. I love them. Well. I was just really disappointed when they did not make it to Malawi for the champions.
Why?
Issues within the Netball Federation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, the Ministry of Sports here in Uganda, I feel like they don't support the sports so well, because
yeah,
even we usually
guess.
have people like Kiprotich, Keptenge, usually giving stories of, you know, I actually had to borrow, I had to walk a distance like this. And then other countries have representatives that have been supported by the government. Then you ask, why is our government not supporting the sports sector?
I feel like we prioritize very many things as a country, and that
sports is not
just
one
a
of them.
minor thing. Really, if you have a talent, go and expose it. You never know. But
it's because we are Africans. Because back in the day, you would wake up and tell your father or your mother, you're like, Mom, I want to play soccer. Your father would ask you, play soccer? What is that? And what is wrong with being a doctor? What is wrong with being a lawyer? But times are changing. These days, a child tells the father or the mother, I want to play soccer. You pay for a soccer academy, and the child is getting practice every weekend or holidays.
We have very many academies coming up in
Uganda. Yes, and they are good. They are helping with discipline in the boys so much.
I like the fact that people are really seeing that there is money in football, in sport.
Yes.
Not only football, but in sport as well.
But not in Uganda, of course.
The prize money is little, you people. Imagine the winner walking out with 2 million. What is that?
And you've put all your energy in that.
2 million,
if this is supposed to be my income, source of income, you should actually give me money, because these people, when they go, usually they're given awards after running or doing any sport when they go out there. Because let's say he has earned 2 million or 5 million. When he gets here, he's going to be taxed, and before you know it, the Ministry of Sports has taken a lot of money from this person. This person is not going to have the morale to go back, because from the 5 million he made, he actually has like 1.8. It doesn't make sense, because these people who are taking the money have been sitting. This person sponsored himself to go abroad and actually earn this gold medal or bronze medal that he got, and the government is taking all the money. So it doesn't make sense to me personally.
So please, you've heard it from Charlotte, so definitely have to be supporting sports, because that is the one thing. We are hosting AFCON 2027.
Amen.
Yes, we are hosting it. I'm really waiting for it. Hoping I'll be alive by then, so that I see how we're going to do as Uganda.
Yes.
We are starting on our roads slowly. I believe infrastructure is going to be improved. People with hotels, please work on your hotels, because definitely it's going to be a lot of money coming in. Yes. Accommodations. Well, of course, away from that, we are going to be looking at NBA, that is basketball. Of course, Oklahoma City voters approved sales tax for NBA arena. And of course, Oklahoma City voters approved a 1% sales tax for the 6 years to help fund the new downtown arena for the NBA Thunder that is expected to cost $900 million. Can you imagine? The people themselves want themselves taxed so that they can support such an initiative.
And for us, we want taxes to be removed.
We want taxes to be removed. Trust me, if we were paying our taxes well,
yes,
the Nachivobo, Nambole, you guys.
The taxes we pay, we never know where they go. That's the same thing I was talking about with Andrew when you walked in. I was telling Andrew, if I buy a car at 10 million shillings and I have to pay 20 million to get this number plate, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, you've taxed me 20 million. Where is this 20 million going? Even if you tell me to pay 50 million and tomorrow I wake up and these taxes are showing me where they are going, I will pay without complaining. So if these people are asking to be taxed, I want to go and live with them. Because they are not being taxed.
1%, because I mean 1% is not a lot of money.
Yes, it's not.
1%. I don't. That's like 1,000 of someone's salary or something. Yes. So they are doing it for the cause of the love for basketball. I wish we could do the same if we loved our nation, Uganda. Well, we could be actually. If you remember, I think 2 years ago, there was this campaign of Nile. You buy a drink and. Remove 50 shillings. They will remove 50 shillings for the Uganda cranes. Yes. Yeah, to support them in one way or the other. So people are buying alcohol for the cause of.
If you can actually make us the drunkards buy for the cause of that, yeah, it would actually work.
Yes, because really, if you look at the sport in Uganda, the Uganda cranes, no, not really. I don't think the pay is really quite
It's just a name.
It's just a name.
You just hear Uganda cringe.
Because you've seen even those that have done, those that were former players, if you look at the condition they're in right now, it's really devastating for a person who played in the 90s. I expect them to have mansions and cars and they're inspiring people, but they're there in villages. Oh my goodness.
This is why parents are sponsoring their kids to actually go abroad and do what? And play sports from other countries rather than wasting their time here. They feel like if they invest in their children, then these children should actually go to another country.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, of course, still in this report, the NBA, as they embark on a new era of global sports and entertainment, they say they're grateful for the people of Oklahoma City for their confidence they have in both the Thunder and the NBA. So definitely, the Thunder's ownership group will contribute $50 million toward construction of the new arena. The deal also calls for $70 million in funding for the sales tax approved by voters in 2019 for upgrades of the existing Pycon Arena. Now, of course, the proposal was strongly endorsed by Oklahoma City Mayor David Holt and officials from the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce, who argued that keeping the Thunder is an integral part of the city's growth and economic development. You've seen most of when an arena is made, it hosts very many events, concerts, other games as well. So imagine Nambola Stadium, Echivulu, parties. It earns the country more money. Revenue. Yes, which is good. Now that we have one so far complete, we're to see what we're going to use it for. Though, New Year's is coming around. People do book those stadiums in advance. So imagine the amount of money
end of year we usually have so many concerts from musicians, whereby you have more than 20 musicians on one poster. So you end up finding that they have to have a big place, since you might find one musician has like 1,000 people that are going to just come and watch this one person. So imagine on that poster you have 20 of them. So you need bigger space for New Year's.
So the trick is that the bigger the space, the more money that we get as a country. So let's work the magic, and please, if you're taxed, please know it's for the good.
Tax us for a reason that we are actually going to see after that. Me, I'll say this the whole day. It is like your man you telling your man I need to do my hair. He gives you 200,000 and you come back looking like you haven't done anything. Show me where I'm putting this money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So at the end of the day, let our government show us where we're actually putting our money. Where is it going exactly? Because you go to hospitals, you hear doctors striking all the time, teachers striking. Where is our money going? So they need to actually show us.
And these days, public hospitals are no longer public. I mean, someone pays a fee and you really wonder if it's really a public hospital.
You enter a hospital when a child is sick. Back in the day, we used to pay 10,000 for treatment, 20,000, and right now, your child can be, they're usually 3 days of treatment, and those 3 days of treatment are worth your living, let's say, of 2-3 months. Because hospitals have made it a business. You can even get to the emergency room, you're like, my child, they're like, first pay consultation, first pay money, and you're like, people, money? Is it?
The desperation.
Really?
We are desperate. Everyone wants money, one or the other. Mostly those ones use it as their advantage because you need them. You need them, so you have to comply with whatever situation that is around there. Anyway, let's get into entertainment business. Well, of course, in entertainment today, Spotify is actually going to be partnering with Warner Brothers Discovery to host podcasts. Well, of course, as you know, podcasts, they could be visual, they could be mostly audio. Yeah, for those that love listening to people inspiring you and, talking on different topics. Yeah, for some people, podcasts have been a game changer for some people. Wake up, all you can think about is I want to listen to Charlotte. She has some nice message in the morning. Want to get motivated. So Spotify is one of the platforms because it's known for music and people consume. It has very many users. So definitely, Warner Brother pictures, Discovery, it has a lot of content, HBO, it has very many partnerships. So it's like, you know what, we have podcasts. How about we put it on a platform where everyone is able to use? Yes. Yeah, because if you see artists like Selena Gomez, they have their music right there. That means there is a possibility that you'll be passing and like, oh, it's a podcast. Yeah. Okay, let me see what it is it's about. Well, of course, in this initiative, the Warner Brothers Discovery on Tuesday said that the music streaming giant Spotify would host media podcasts as part of its monetization drive. Of course, Spotify's enterprise platform, Megaphone, will host the Warner Brothers Discovery podcasts, which will be monetized by Spotify Audience Network. And we hope that all this, well, of course, here, Warner Brothers actually has shows which has Discovery Channel. They have TLC. If you have DSTV, you can see TLC. Yeah, it has very many, CNN, and of course HBO. So that is all Warner Brother Pictures. Discovery as well. And of course, for Spotify's Megaphone platform, it will be used as a hosting and distribution center. And it's because it's an enterprise podcast platform acquired by the Spotify earlier this year. Well, of course, we expect that it will reach a bigger audience, given the fact that Spotify has a bigger user base. Yes, that is why they opted for it, which could expose those shows to much larger audiences. Yeah, instead of someone looking out, waiting for TVs, like, let me tune into my phone, I go to what, Spotify, because I mean, subscription in Uganda is just 10,000, 10,000, 15,000, depending on the category you place yourself in. For students, it's 10,000. So I think that is why these initiatives are coming, because everyone is fighting to be seen. Everyone wants to be recognized. So they're using each platform, YouTube, TikTok. People have gone all that far for visibility. If you want your brand to grow.
The days we are in today, if you don't use social media to market yourself, more so the product, these musicians, movies, you have a new product coming out, you use these influencers, because now you see, right now here in Uganda, all the influencers, you remember we used to see only celebrities on billboards, on TVs, but now when you see, it is the TikTokers that are taking over everything, everywhere. So you find that everything is with social media. Everything is being done with social media. So if you're not up to date right now, you end up losing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually seen some people's documentaries on Netflix. Yeah. Because now people consume Netflix more than TV. So they're like, I don't want to watch TV. Let me subscribe for Netflix, and probably I could, watch a thing or two. Just use my data, and then I can be able to witness whatever is going on around the world. Well, that is it for the sports and entertainment business. And of course, in the coming minutes, before we go in for a short break, we shall be coming on with conversations that we've been having earlier on in the